Hey there, beautiful souls. I'm Jack.
And I'm Amanda, and together we're the Twin Flame Alchemists.
Today we've got something special for all you high-achieving, fabulous, and single spiritual women out there who want more love, intimacy, and connection.
That's right. We're diving deep into the top 3 reasons why you might be subconsciously sabotaging your love life, keeping that twin flame at arm's length.
So grab your crystals, light some incense, and let's get started with reason number 1.
Reason number 1 is high standards and unrealistic expectations. You, my dear, have got impeccable taste. Your standards are set high, and you do deserve nothing but the best.
Absolutely. But here's the kicker. Sometimes those expectations are so high, they're in the stratosphere. We're talking about a partner who's practically a unicorn.
Unicorn indeed. It's crucial to find that balance between having standards and being open to reality, which means compromise. That perfect partner might not check off every single box on your list, but they could check all the right ones where it truly matters.
So let's be sassy and say, keep those standards high, but don't only chase unicorns, darling. They're mythical for a reason.
Let me quickly explain a few reasons why a high-achieving woman might become incredibly picky when dating. Let's talk about those father wounds and their impact. I'll share the first one, which is absence or neglect. Number 1, if a woman grew up with an absent or neglectful father, she might subconsciously seek partners who can fill that void. She may become picky because she's looking for someone who can compensate for the emotional support that she lacked during her formative years.
Number 2 is unrealistic expectations. A woman who had an overbearing or perfectionist father might develop unrealistic expectations in relationships. She might be overly critical of potential partners, seeking someone who can meet impossible high standards, replicating the need for her father's approval.
And the third is abandonment issues. Women with fathers who abandon them emotionally or physically may fear rejection in romantic relationships. They could become picky as a defense mechanism to avoid getting hurt again, leading them to push away potential partners who generally could care for her. So that's why we love working with women on these issues, especially the father and mother wounds. Jack is a father wounds expert, and we're great at identifying even the most hidden early childhood wounds because we blend a unique combination of intuitive psychic healing, energy work, or a healing reading with having these questions asked, the counseling questions, and really diving in deep to the early childhood love blueprint with the mother and father wounds. And that's exactly what we'll be doing in the upcoming event that we're hosting, Twin Flames Live. It's a 3-day immersion where you, single spiritual woman, will walk out the door a totally different woman. It's live from the comfort of your own home, and we'll be sharing more about that later. But if you are getting stuck with this sabotaging pattern, it might be coming from not the most recent years, but the early childhood foundation might need some rewiring. So we're just scratching the surface here in this video today, and we'll be covering this much more in depth at Twin Flames Live. And let's cover reason number 2, which is fear of commitment or vulnerability. So the fear of commitment and vulnerability, it's like carrying around a suitcase of past heartbreaks and insecurities.
We get it. Relationships can be scary. Past experiences might have left you with battle scars, but here's the thing. Love is a battlefield, but it's also where the magic happens.
It's time to put down that suitcase, my dear. Embrace your vulnerability and take a leap of faith because your twin flame is out there waiting for someone as radiant and wild and free and maybe even kind of weird like you. So let's delve into why high-achieving women with mother wounds might experience a fear of vulnerability or commitment when dating, because this is a real deal thing that we need to heal. And I'll give some examples of these wounds and ways that you might want to take action to address them.
Emotional neglect is number 1. If a woman experienced emotional neglect from her mother, she might have learned to suppress her emotions. As a result, she could struggle to open up and be vulnerable with a partner, feeling that her emotional needs won't be met.
And 2 is an overbearing or critical mother. And by the way, you can have a combination of all of these, one or more. So a mother who was overly critical or controlling, perfectionist, can lead to her daughter to develop a fear of being judged or not meeting expectations in relationships. This fear of inadequacy can hinder her commitment.
Number 3, enmeshment. In cases of enmeshment is where a mother is overly involved in her child's life. A woman might struggle with setting healthy boundaries in relationships. This can make her hesitant to fully commit as she may fear losing her sense of self.
For example, one of our clients, I will leave her name out, she had a very emotionally abusive father, an emotionally neglectful mother, and some even bullying with siblings in her family. And she kept on having this runner chaser twin flame guy come in and out of her life, and they would get in fights, and then they would make up and kiss and fights and kiss and make up and back and forth. And it wasn't until we could work out her mother wounds and father wounds and really start to do the deep healing work where she rewrote those scripts, and she actually started to have both parents change in front of her very eyes. They became more loving. They became more open with her and less judgmental and gave her more freedom. That she was able to create that space in her life where her partner started to treat her as the loving mother and loving father that she never had, because she was doing that work for herself.
To heal wounds such as father or mother wounds that might be blocking her ability to commit, she'll want to focus on self-awareness. Recognize the impact of father wounds on your dating preferences. Understand that your high standards might be a way to protect yourself from potential emotional harm. Number 2, seeking healing or therapy. Consider therapy or counseling to address these wounds. A trained therapist can help you explore your past, understand your relationship patterns, and provide tools for healing.
Also, forgiveness, forgiving your father or the person who caused the original wound, even if they're no longer part of your life. This can be so liberating. 4 is self-worth and self-love. Now, working on our self-esteem and self-worth independently of that external validation is going to ensure that we feel deserving of love and respect, regardless of not only our past experiences, but regardless of what that person is giving us in the moment, because we are the full cup. These things contribute to that sense of freedom that can allow commitment to feel open, safe, and spacious, rather than like a trap. Deep into our love blueprint and rewiring our brains, our body, our bliss, and our beliefs for our beloved, for a relationship to come in, because it's kind of like trying to call in a sacred union into a mirror that's covered with mud and cracks and pain. If we are walking around with early childhood wounding, with low self-worth, with past traumas, with past limiting beliefs, then we are only going to manifest what we can mirror. And in the mirror, that's where those ghosters, those runners, those chasers, those game players will show up. It's in the cracks. So if we can bring love, awareness, and healing to the damage that has been done, then we can turn that damage into a diamond, that pressure and pain into pleasure and the treasure. There's power to our traumas. There's power to who we are as the soul that was willing to undo it. But it's time to step up and heal this. It's time to step up and heal the gap between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Let's dive into the third reason, which is limited social opportunities.
We get it. You're busy, spiritual goddess with a schedule that's tighter than a yoga pose.
But honey, if you're stuck in a routine that doesn't let you meet new people, it's like having a treasure map, but never leaving your house, finding that chest of gold.
Spice it up. Join new classes, attend events, host a soul family event or dinner party, and let the universe surprise you. You'll never know where your twin flame might be hiding.
For example, one of my clients, Denise, was always in a routine. She was from Switzerland. She had a busy corporate schedule, and she was a competitive athlete on the weekends. And one day a colleague asked her, "Do you want to go to this party with me?" And she just got this yes in her body. After she did the coaching work with me, she found that it was important to listen to her intuition. She felt the yes. And of course, she met her twin flame there, and they've been together for the last decade. And the first thing he said to her was, "Do I know you from somewhere?" And yeah, probably from the cosmos. So it's important to build your support system. Surround yourself with a supportive network of soul family, of friends who can provide emotional encouragement and perspective.
Take your time. It's okay to be selective when dating, but also be open to getting to know people beyond surface level qualities. Give potential partners a chance to show their true selves. Get out there and test drive life. So there you have it, our fabulous spiritual warriors, these are the top 3 reasons that might be holding you back from that twin flame connection. Remember, your journey to love is unique, just like you are. But with little self-awareness, some personal growth, and maybe a sprinkle of guidance, you'll be well on your way
to finding that perfect partner. So stay sassy, fabulous, and keep your flame burning bright. Until next time, beautiful sisters and brothers, we're Amanda and
Jack.
And we're the Twin Flame Alchemists signing off with Namaste.
Namaste.